Some stories creep into the darkest corners of our imagination and never leave. They haunt us, lingering long after we've heard them, as if the very act of knowing seals our fate. Tonight, we venture into one such story, a tale that has chilled the bones of countless people, not just in Japan, but across the world. This is the story of Sadako, a vengeful spirit born from fear, suffering, and death. A cursed presence that emerges from the shadows to claim the living. You've seen her on your screens, but do you know the truth behind the legend? Sadako's story begins decades ago, in the late 1950s. Born into a life of sorrow, Sadako Yamamura was the daughter of a psychic, a woman who possessed strange, unexplainable powers. Sadako herself inherited these abilities, but they were far darker, more terrifying. She could kill with her mind. People in her village feared her, believed she was cursed. Her own family kept her hidden away, ashamed and terrified of the power she held within. It's said that Sadako's rage boiled over when she was betrayed by those closest to her. One fateful day, she was thrown into a deep, abandoned well, left to die slowly, her nails clawing desperately at the walls as she tried to escape. But there was no escape. Her spirit became trapped, consumed by vengeance. It was years later when people began to vanish. They would receive a strange videotape, one that seemed innocent at first. Distorted images, flashes of unsettling scenes. But then, Sadako's face would appear. Her long black hair obscured most of her pale, emotionless face. Her body twisted and contorted unnaturally. And then came the phone call, a single, chilling message. 7 days. That's all the time you had left to live. The curse was relentless. It didn't matter where you hid. You couldn't escape Sadako's wrath. On the 7th day, she would emerge, crawling from the depths of her well, her soaked hair dripping with malice as she dragged herself toward her victim. It always happens the same way. On the 7th day, just as the victim thinks they might be safe, the air grows cold. The room becomes unnaturally silent. And then, the TV switches on by itself. The static hums, flickers, and there she is. Sadako crawls through the screen, defying logic and reality. Her hair clings to her waterlogged skin. Her broken, twisting body moves with an unnatural speed. She crawls closer and closer, never uttering a word, but her very presence screams of death. You can't move. You can't look away. By the time she reaches you, it's already too late. Her cold, dead hands wrap around your throat, and in that final moment, you'll see her face before everything goes black. Sadako's curse knows no boundaries. Once you watch the cursed tape, there's no escaping it. Some try to run, others try to hide, but the result is always the same. She finds them, she kills them. Victims are often found with looks of sheer terror frozen on their faces, their bodies contorted as if they had been trying to escape something unseen. Some believe that Sadako doesn't just kill her victims, she takes a piece of their soul, trapping it in her cursed world. To this day, some say they've seen her, an apparition flickering in the static of a TV, a figure standing in the reflection of a darkened screen, a cold whisper carried on the wind. The story of Sadako isn't just a ghost story, it's a warning. Her legend, rooted in Japan's fear of the unknown, has taken on a life of its own. Some believe the cursed tape was real, that it existed somewhere, waiting to be discovered again. In the late 1990s, after the story gained global recognition, strange occurrences began to be reported. People claimed they received strange phone calls after hearing Sadako's tale. Others swore they saw her reflection in dark windows or felt an icy hand brush against their skin in an empty room. Whether you believe in the curse or not, one thing is certain. Sadako is more than just a story. She's a manifestation of fear, of death, and of the darkness that lies within us all. If you ever feel a sudden chill while watching TV, you might want to check behind you. Thank you for joining me tonight. Sadako's tale is just one of many that remind us how fragile the line between reality and horror truly is. Be careful what you watch, because some things are best left unseen.